shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who is fearless. A young loner on a crusade to champion the cause in a world of reckless automobiles. These are my moto vlogs. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Your boy Chris is out on the gold wing, leaving Mama Hamlin's out here in where are we, Dustin?
Madison, Mississippi.
Madison, Mississippi. Down here in the Magnolia State, Mama Hamlin's. A best kept secret.
Oh, good. Ooh.
And today I'm riding with War Wagon and Funny Girl.
There we go.
How you doing, War Wagon and Funny Girl?
We are rocking and rolling today.
We are rocking and rolling. I'm talking to you via my Sena 50. My Sena 50. War Wagon is on.
I hear you well, too.
War Wagon is on his Cardo Pack Talk. So we're talking to you
Auto.
on the Cardo Pack Talk and the Sena 50. So we're going to have...
Then we're about to show y'all a good trick.
So what, Dustin?
I said we're about to show them a good trick because we're about to split you. One family go another. We'll be talking quite some time.
Yeah, we'll talk for a minute. I'm going to have the phone line open, 901-468-9032.
Go cut that way.
Get on with your boy Chris. 901-468-9032. Well, War Wagon, I had a good time hanging out with you.
Yeah, that was a good ride. That was a good ride.
Girl, I appreciate you. Thank you.
You.
Be safe all the north. Be safe.
Okay, I'm going to head on back.
All right.
All right, be careful.
All righty.
So you're going to get some live callers. Y'all call him. Call the man.
Oh, yeah. Let me know what you think, how you feel about your boy Chris. If you have anything you want to discuss, you want to ask me questions about my Sena 50, my Cardo Pack Talk. You guys are emailing me about dark siding. There is no limit. And so, Dustin, you're fixing to head on down to Natchez Trace?
Yeah, that was the plan.
That was the plan.
That's where we're going.
All right.
We're gonna take the Natchez Trace and head on back to Brandon.
Okay.
It's a really nice road come down. I think we've been on that a while ago. We took this exact route, so
okay.
It's a nice ride. It's a real nice ride back this way. Going out by the Ross Barnett Reservoir.
Okay.
We're out by the water, nice and cool.
All right. Well, War Wagon, you're on your Cardo. I'm on my Sena. How does my Sena sound to you?
Man, you're coming across perfectly loud. Everything's working real good. Much better than earlier today. Now that you got the G14 classified secret squirrel sign in, we're probably about 4 miles apart now, and still talking good.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How's he sound to you, Funny Girl? Can you hear him?
Perfectly well. Yes. Very well.
Good deal. Good deal. I'm just passing Sunnybrook.
Oh, I do it.
Hop on this Interstate 55. Gonna head on back. I got about a 3.5 hour ride back to the house.
We got about 45 minutes.
It's all good in the hood. 3.5 hours back to the house, man.
Oh, good.
I don't know how you're going to make it after that lunch, man. You already been to Mama Hamilton. I'll tell you stuff.
That is a lot, yeah.
We're going to take it on down. I'm hopping on this 55. Well, Dustin, I'm not going to keep you. We're going to go do a little Caliente Live, take a couple phone calls so they can get on with their boy Chris. 901-468-9032.
All right, man. Have a safe ride back. Appreciate the ride, and we will catch up with you on the next one.
Okay. All right, Dustin. All right, Funny Girl. We'll see y'all later.
All right. Take it easy, brother.
Okay. Bye-bye. You're on with Caliente, live on the Gold Wing.
Out on the Gold Wing.
What's going on?
Out on the Gold Wing. How you doing, Chris? Mark.
Hey, Mark. This is
What's going on, man?
your boy Chris. Out on the Gold Wing, 55 northbound, live on the Gold Wing. Anything you say can be used in a Caliente video. What's up, my brother?
Same old thing, man. Same old thing.
Yes, sir.
You sound clear. Are you on your 50s?
Mark, I am talking to you via my Sena 50. As a matter of fact, I went out today and picked up an additional Sena 50 dual kit.
There you go.
So
I'm taking you're liking it.
I have it installed into my HJC IS Max 2, and I really like it. How does it sound on your end?
Oh, I can't even tell you're on the motorcycle. It sounds like you're outside, but I can't hear any ambient sound at all, like you're on a motorcycle.
Okay. Tell the viewers where you're calling from.
I am calling from beautiful Southern California, about 40 miles east of Los Angeles.
All right. Southern California, east of Los Angeles, about 40 miles.
Yep.
Man, Mark, it's 86 degrees here, and I got about a 200-mile ride back to the house. What's going on with you, my brother?
Nothing. I just figured I'd call in and chit-chat about the 50s and the whole Bluetooth thing and all that. And
now, Mark, we've had conversations about this Sena, and you say your group ride with mostly Senas, right? Out there in California.
That's correct.
Yeah. So how do you guys like the Sena? I know you guys been using them for a while. What's your thoughts on them up to this point?
Well, I don't really have anything to compare it to. I know that we had talked a while back about the shortcomings of it before they rolled out the firmware update.
Right.
And before they did that, they were just useless. We put them back in the box and started using our 20S Evos again.
Right.
And it wasn't until about a year later when they figured out what the problem was. They created the firmware update and made them usable again.
Right.
So, but there's still a learning curve to any kind of a device like this.
Right.
And I ride with a group of guys who are a little bit on the older side.
Right.
And they're not very in touch with technology, and they don't want to be.
Right.
So it's not a matter of the device is not working. It's just that perishable perishable skill of not using it frequently. That we have to do little refresher courses on it, and usually it's like about 10 minutes before a ride.
Right.
So.
Well, one thing I do like about the new Sena, for a long time I was rocking with Sena, and I had the 20S and made do of it. It did pretty good, but it did a lot of snap, a lot of crackling, a lot of popping. Sena came out with the 30K, and that 30K, man, was just it was no use to me. It turned me off, and I actually moved over to the Cardo. So I never got around to using the new Sena 50. I didn't get around to using the 30K after the new update that had corrected the problem with the 30K. And so today I got on my Sena 50. I've been trying it out here for a while, and I honestly must say I'm actually impressed. And you was talking about some guys in your group that may not be that tech savvy. Well, one of the things that I like about this Sena 50 is that you don't have to pair up. So if you're going to connect with another rider, let's say that has the Sena 50, is that you don't have to pair your helmets. You can just go. You can turn on your mesh with one button. That button that's directly up under the antenna. Press it one time, and it turns on the mesh. And roll that jog dial until you find the channel that you want to be on, which is channel 1 through 9. Press the jog dial in, and it selects the channel. So the point I'm making, one of the things I like about the Sena is that you don't have to pair up. So you don't have to touch nobody headsets. You just tell the other rider, hey, go to channel 1 or channel, from 1 through 9, and select that channel, and you don't have to pair up.
Correct.
Is that accurate?
That's completely accurate. I mean, talk about the ease of use and the user friendliness about the whole headset. It really is, and that's where we had problems before the new firmware versions came out that fixed all those problems. It was just so difficult on trying to get into a public, a private, a guest mode.
Right.
And Sena cleared all of that up. And so, I'm back in touch with it because now I can use it with my free wire.
Right.
And so, and I utilize my onboard navigation on my level 3 all the time. So I get all the turn-by-turns through there, everything.
Right.
So, yeah.
Now, Mark, you said that in some of our previous discussions and also today, you said that the update with the latest update. So if a person has a 30K and they do that latest firmware update via the Sena device manager, did you say that it pretty much basically uses the same platform as the Sena 50? So basically you have the same features in your 30K as the Sena 50s. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty accurate description. Even though the firmware versions are different on a 50S as opposed to a 30K, like I think the latest firmware version for a 50S is 1.0.8 or something like that. I'm not sure.
Okay.
You would probably know more about that. And the latest firmware version on the 30K is a 3.1.1. So they're pretty much the same firmware versions with just a different numerical value because they're different headsets.
Right.
But they operate the same. And, if I'm talking to you on a 30K, there's nothing that would let your 50S know that it's a 30K communicating with it.
Right.
So, everything is in a few of the features that the 30K has or the 50S has that are different, but are available on the 30K now because remember, Sena came out with the upgraded speakers.
Right.
And just as a note, if you do buy the updated speakers to replace on your cradles and your helmets for the 30K, those speakers also work with the 20S.
Right.
And so the difference is you have to remove the app, the old app, and you have to reinstall the 30K app because when you do, that's what gives it the ability to change the mid, the bass, the high, mid tones, high tones, low tones. It gives you the option of adjusting all of those things. So, anybody who's using a 30K or a 20S that buys that upgraded speaker kit needs to know that.
Right. Okay. Yeah, my phone line was buzzing. I'm trying to get on 901-468-9032. So basically, what viewers need to understand that if you have the Sena 30K and if you do the latest update. Now, did you say they have to uninstall the
app?
They will have to uninstall or just do an update?
No, you have to. That's the problem with the apps on the phone. You can't update the app. You have to actually take it out.
Okay.
And remove it, and then once you take it out, then you have to reinstall the app again. And I don't know why they don't allow apps to update themselves. Some do, some don't. I don't think the Senas do. And so it's necessary to remove it from your phone and then reinstall the app again so you get all the full functionality of the app.
Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, could they actually take the 30K and plug it into their home computer and just update it via the device manager? And you're saying to uninstall the app and then reinstall it on the phone?
Yes.
Okay.
You can adjust your you can adjust all your settings one of two ways with the 30K.
Right.
You can install it on the use a Sena device manager.
Okay.
For the 30K, and you can go in there and you can change all your settings however you want them.
Okay.
Or you can, when you pair up to your 30K using your iPhone or your Android device, and you install the app, when you have the 30K app installed on your phone,
okay,
your phone recognizes it, and you can actually make those same setting changes in your phone.
Okay.
When you're literally, off on the side of the road someplace.
Okay. Yeah, because I know with my Sena 50, when I open up the Sena 50 app, I could actually go in there and change the default settings. I can do everything on the app that I can do on the my home computer, but I updated, like my Sena 50, for example, I updated it on a device manager on my home system, and then I installed the 50K new app on my Apple phone.
Right. And one of the things that that Sena did, which was pretty cool, and it's all part of the package, is your charging cable for your headset connects to the Wi-Fi in your home. And if there's a firmware update, as long as it's charging and it's connected to that cable, that data cable, with the Wi-Fi connection, it automatically updates your headset.
Okay.
So if you're one to I think you like to take your helmet off and plug it in and put it on your shelf in the Caliente garage.
Right.
Yeah, and as long as that cable is set up with the Wi-Fi thing, it's going to automatically constantly search for new firmware updates. So you never have to worry about, am I updated? Am I updated? Am I updated?
Okay.
The 30K also had that capability, but you had to buy the separate docking station for it.
Oh, okay.
And you know what I mean? Then you would take the headset off the helmet, plug it into the docking station, and let it charge every day overnight. And it would do the same thing. But now the Sena made it even easier by just putting all of that into the charging cable, so you don't have to buy two pieces of equipment. I'm sure they tax the cost onto the buyer for that, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Now for me, I tried to do the update to my Sena 50 with that provided cable, and I'm not sure if I was doing something right or if I was not doing something correct. I could not get it to do an update. But how I end up doing an update on mine is that I took a regular USB-C cable that was coming out of my home computer. It wasn't the provided cable. It didn't have no box on it, just a regular USB-C cable. And once I plugged that into the Sena 50, it was able to recognize it in the device manager. But for some reason prior to that, I could not. So normally what I would do, I would open up my home computer. I will go to the desktop, and I would double click on that Sena device manager icon. So when that device manager icon comes on, it loads up. Now, when I plug my Sena into that cable, that USB cable, it normally recognizes it in the device manager. But for some reason or another, when I tried to do it with the provided cable plugged into my home CPU, it would not recognize in the device manager. So I thought maybe it was a driver issue. And when I plugged up another older Sena, it recognizes it. So I took a standard USB-C type cable that was not provided. I had it on my own. And once I plugged that standard cable into my Sena 50, then at that point, the device manager recognized it. And then I was able to do an update via my home computer. But I never could get it to work right.
Interesting.
I never could get it to work right with the provided cable, doing it off of just the Sena Wi-Fi. Now, I could have been doing something incorrect, but I just could not. It would not even recognize. But I was able to get that update with just a regular USB-C cable plugged into my Sena 50 via the device manager, and it worked perfectly.
Right.
And actually, once you do the update, it'll show it in the device manager. And I think that update is like a 1.0.8. I think is what it was for the 50. And also, when you open up the Sena 50 app, it shows your current update version right there in the app on the home screen. So that's interesting to see. I know there's a process to connecting the cable, but it could be that because that cable serves as a Wi-Fi cable, it could be that there's a filter in it somehow that doesn't allow you to use it for the setting changes. It could be that they want you to use the app, but it seemed to recall that a buddy of mine bought a 50s, and I seem to recall that when I opened up his 50s app on his phone, and I went to go look at the settings, it was very limited to what settings you could change on there. But it's been a few months since I looked at that, and it could be that they maybe updated the app to give you more functionality as far as changing settings is concerned. Right.
But the very good devices. We got 4 members of our club that are using the 50s right now, and they absolutely love it. I mean, the best thing they like about it is the one-touch connection.
Yeah. That's very attractive to me, which is one of the things that kind of drawed me into the 50, is that I like my Cardo. The Cardo is a very good headset, but the Cardo is limited to 15 riders. Once you put 15 riders in your headset, you're maxed out. So one of the problems with the Cardo that I found is that Cardo does not give you an option to delete one rider. You have to take out the entire group.
Yeah.
So that was a turnoff. And also, I have to pair everybody's helmet anytime we ride.
Yeah, that's no good.
The thing that one of the things, not everything, but one of the things that attracted me to the Sena is that it gives you an opportunity to connect unlimited riders, and you don't have to pair. You just tell everybody to go to 1 through 9, whichever channel you select, which is an open channel, it's a public channel. Anybody that has a Sena 50 or 30 that's on that channel that's within range can hear the conversation. But you don't have to pair up. I don't have to worry about pairing up A to pair rider B and C and D and so forth. All the riders just go to a specific channel, and it automatically meshes in on the open channel, on the open mesh.
Right. Yeah. And I was messing around with the 30K app. I had my helmet connected to it the other day, and I think it was right after you and I got done talking, because I wanted to see how the 30K interacts with the app with regards to creating a private mesh group.
Right.
Because it sounds to me from all of the literature that I've been reading about with the Sena 30K is the best communication line that you're going to have is in a private mesh group.
Right.
The easiest one is going to be just going into a push the mesh, you're open in channel 1, you're good to go.
Right.
But the best one, the most clarity seems to come from having a private mesh group.
Okay.
And so what I was looking at, there's a feature on the app that allows you to create a private mesh group.
Right.
And when I opened it up, I looked at it, and one of the things you look for is you look for the little pencil so you can edit names. When you have one guy turn his on, okay, he's turned on, I'm going to give him a name now.
Right.
So now I know every time he's in range of my headset, I know that, David is on, or Cindy is on, and I can bring them into my group. But the other thing I noticed is that there was an edit and a trash symbol, which tells me that now you can edit someone's name, or you can just select them and hit the recycle or trash bin,
right,
and take them out of the group.
That's pretty good.
And add somebody else. So again, there's there's a plus right there. And then the other thing I noticed was if you have the app open and you want to create a private mesh group, it gives you one of those IRC codes that you can scan with your phone. And so once you open it up, all you do is you just show that to all the other riders in your group, and then whoever's going to come into your group, they just scan your code, and they automatically get connected into your mesh group.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a lot of functionality on that. You have a greater opportunity to test all those things, and than I do, because we just our riding season is done now, and but you guys seem to ride year round, even in an obscenely intense, oppressive heat. So,
right. That's right.
So that's something you might want to try once you have a following of 30K and 50S. People, but a lot of people follow you, and a lot of people follow your lead, and I have no doubt that this is what's going to happen. The same, if someone's going to say, "Hey, you know what? Chris went to the 50S, must be good. Let's go for it."
So far, I think it's great. The connectivity, I think, will be outstanding. Being able to just have a open mesh with anybody that comes around, you just tell them what channel to put their headset on, or like you said, if they want to go onto a private group. And you said the communications seems to be a little bit more better in a private group than it does in the open channel.
Yes.
Okay.
And the private group, the private mesh group, is where Sena advertises that you can obtain a range of 5.5 miles when you have up to 16 riders, or when you have I believe it's a minimum of 16 riders in a group.
Okay.
In a private mesh group, they're claiming that if you have 16 riders in a private mesh group, it'll daisy chain from front to back.
Right.
And I don't know if I buy that. I know that we've had 7 riders in an open mesh channel 1 group.
Right.
And it was 90% good, but there was always one that you could just hear them breaking up, and we'd have to tell them, hey, you need to reboot your headset. And once they did, then everything got better.
Right.
But again, the technology of the mesh is that it's an open mic all the time, and unless you have it optimized to filter out all of the ambient noise that will activate one's mic, it's a technology that has to be refined. They're working. They're getting there, but their ambient noise filter has to be refined so that you just don't have those problems.
Right.
And but you know what? I mean, setting all that aside, I mean, we are totally happy with our Sena devices. I've been using Senas for the last almost 5 years now. I started off with the SMH10 3.1 Bluetooth, and man, I thought that thing was the best thing since sliced bread.
Right.
And then I've moved up throughout the years, and my 30K works fine for me, and there's not enough skin in the game for me to switch to a 50S as of yet.
Right.
But the time will come, and by the time I'm ready for that, the 60 will be out, a 60 series will be out, and then they're like, okay, well, I'll just bypass the 50 and go straight to the 60.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does wonders. It's just the only thing I can tell people that are using Bluetooth headsets is you got to use them.
Right.
You just got to use them, and you'll get to a point where it becomes like riding a bike. You'll be able to make adjustments on the fly.
Right.
But if you don't use it enough, and if you're relying on other people to help you turn it on, which button do I push for mesh? Then you're never trying to get to your full potential of what you can do with the headset. Right. And there's so many features on the 30K that I haven't used because I just don't need to use them.
Right.
But they're out there. But basic mesh, a Bluetooth communication with my phone, hooked up to my handlebar remote, everything's all good.
Right.
You know, one of the things I would have liked to have seen with the 50s and the 30K is that mesh antenna. It would be a great upgrade if Sena were to figure out a way to incorporate the mesh antenna into the shark fin with a separate antenna, because that shark fin, as you know, is for the Bluetooth connectivity.
Right.
And the pop-up is for the mesh.
Okay.
And so, but the problem that I've seen is if you don't take the time to figure out how that antenna opens up, you hyperextend it really quick because you're trying to manhandle it.
Right.
And they could come up with a better design, I think. And I think the best design would be to create a splitter within that shark fin that would separate the two antennas and give you one for Bluetooth and one for mesh.
Right. Yeah. Well, like I said, yeah, you have to be careful when you're opening that antenna, because you could easily break it.
Yep.
Practice learning how to operate your headset. You got a lot of people sometimes that will sit their headsets at home and they don't play with it at home. They don't try to figure out how it works. They don't try to figure it out.
Right.
They want to get out on the road. Then they're lost. They're not sure how to use it. So I try to tell people, use it, play with it. Become one with your unit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Learn how to use it. Go through the function. That's how I learned how to use my. They would be out of gas right here. That's how I learned how to use my headset. Is just playing with it.
Right. Yeah.
I sit at home for hours playing with my headset, and then I'll sit at home for hours playing with my headset, and then when it's time to ride, I'll know exactly what to do. So, but a lot of times people don't like to read. They don't like to.
Right.
They don't like to plan. So you have to get out there and actually use your headset, play with it, become one with it. So when it's time to ride, you'll know exactly the functions of it.